made some efforts to, shall we say, brief against him. In other words, a quote ended up in the media which was, and I'm doing this from memory, but it was something like, how unfortunate that a man, when he was posted to strike command at that level and had his finger on the nuclear button, has been seeing aliens. So behind the scenes they were disparaging him, but of course...
Isn't that sad?
It is sad and it's disrespectful. And I mean,
it is disrespectful.
I mean, the other important thing is, of course, that person, as is often always the case in this sort of situation, didn't give their name. They were just listed as a defence source. A senior defence source told us.
Peter Horsley was one of your top people. He was an air marshal. And I would have thought that they would have paid attention and given some respect to his opinion.
No, they deployed the usual line, which is, let's put in a slightly disparaging comment, let's see if we can get the phrase little green men somewhere in there, and let's hope everyone just moves on.
Thank you. I'm glad they got that on film.
Thank you. Rob.
Yeah,
you've been waiting very patiently.
Say your whole name and your background.
All right, so my name's Robert Fleischer. I'm the founder and coordinator of Exopolitics Germany, and it's a great privilege to be sitting here on this table with these brilliant minds. I've studied a lot, I've read a lot of the things that you've did, and I have to say, I'm just so curious how this is all going to unfold. I'm going to make it short, as I don't even have the smallest part of the background that you all have. I came in touch with this field when I was 16 years old, when I first met the author Eric von Däniken, who wrote Chariots of the Gods in 1968 something, and became friends. And whenever he was in my region, we met, and we had discussions and conversations. We spent hours sitting in the lobby talking about God and the world and the extraterrestrials, and it was so exciting for me at an age of 16. So and it kind of made me curious about what else was there, and wouldn't it be important for us all to know about it, and why isn't that on the media? So I started a journalist career. At a very early age, I started working for a local newspaper, and then I was a presenter of a local television show, and then so I kept working in this field and did my university degree at the same time. And then like 5 years ago, I think I stopped working for television, because I finally understood that the reason why these important things which we are discussing here, which is the alien presence and free energy and consciousness, why that is not on the mass media, is not because people they never think about doing that on the media. No, it's just because they don't have the chance to do that, because television is simply not the right medium to do that. It's not, people don't want that on television, because television has a certain control in our society, a certain control function. So I stopped working for television when I came across some kind of free energy device, made a TV report about it, and they wouldn't let me report on it. They never actually broadcast that. And then a couple of years later, I also came across the Disclosure Project press conference on the internet, and that kind of triggered my curiosity again in this field, because I thought, how is it possible that in the mass media you always hear about weather balloons or whatever, and then there's these highly credible military witnesses and insiders, some of which are sitting here at this table, how is it possible that I've never heard about that? So I thought about what could I do. So I founded Exopolitics Germany, which is, as Stephen said, an umbrella for all kinds of activities in this field which are necessary to bring this issue forward. And it's such a huge field. It's physical evidence, cover-up, disclosure. But what I'm interested in, and that's my personal interest in this, is the fact that these craft appear and disappear shows that our reality is obviously much greater than what we have thought it is. It's not just 3 dimensions plus linear time. No, it's much more than that. And I want to find out what is it. And if these extraterrestrial visitors master these dimensions, these superior dimensions or supplementary dimensions, or however you want to call that, what does that mean for their state of consciousness? How are they thinking? What kind of consciousness level must they have to be able to master these dimensions? And what would it mean for us to understand how they think? Or to put it in another way, what would be the next level of evolution in human consciousness? Because we might assume that we would also come across these other dimensions sooner or later. So that is what I'm actually interested most. What really interests me the most is the consciousness thing. And I'm strongly convinced that everything is actually, in the end, is a question of consciousness. Yes. Please.
Yeah, I was just going to say that yes, the more recent experiments that are being done among humans is the incredible power of positive intention. That people coming together in groups with an intention can actually create that reality. And it's interesting that you have these 2 parallel tracks going on. One is science, very good science, being done here on the earth by university scientists, and at the same time you have the ET UFO disclosure issue. And the two are very intertwined because the ET UFO phenomenon just points so clearly towards this. And we need to know this, and we need all the help we can get from our off-planet, on-planet people that are going against the grain of black ops and going against the grain of these horrible agendas, that we can actually heal the planet. We can have a sustainable future. And so, from my own point of view, I'm just very grateful to be here among you and to be able to interact in this way.
That's wonderful, Brian. Thank you so much. Let me have a go here, then I'll let you have the last word.
Absolutely.
Okay? All right. For me, having this kind of conference sometimes feels like a group of fishermen on a little island in the Pacific Ocean who are sitting around a campfire trying to figure out whether there's anyone else in the world, and what are these funny shiny things that they see up in there, and do you believe that I saw this thing up in the sky? Do you think, it's like, what is that thing? Is that real or what? And our level of sophistication in asking these questions may not come close to the level of sophistication that's needed in order to get the answers. And this is a bridge over, I think, into the world of exopolitics, because while those islanders around this campfire in the South Pacific might be arguing with each other about whether they're all alone in the world and what are these metal things that some people say that they see in the sky. And what we're really interested in is assuming that there are other people in the world and assuming that they do fly around in these metal things in the sky. What are their agendas? What are they doing with the world? What are they doing with our world? What is it that they might be doing that we might need to know about in our little island? What might be their agendas for us? What's it all about? And who are we? And how do we get here in the first place? And if we look at the political implications of that, the questions are so enormous and so far beyond the questions that one might get in a media article about, is it possible that aliens could really exist? It's like, come on, this is a given. But who are they? Where are they from? When are they from? What are they doing? What's our place in the universe? What do we need to know in order to understand this thing? What do our own governors and politicians and military and intelligence specialists know that we are not being told, and why are we not being told? And I believe that the exopolitics movement is trying to speak to those issues, and this is one of the the directions in which I think that this